Now, what we'll hear about is the response to these barriers. How can we overcome these barriers? And the response is through this vision of having the OITB with a single entry point called Metabuilding. So it's a pleasure to call up to the stage Germain Adell. He was the thought leader of the proposal, along with Ellen Zarli some time ago, that had the vision on how this group would respond to this challenge from the European Commission. So this session is called, and it's a half-hour session. We're back on time now, so that the last panel was efficient. Thank you for that. So the engine for growth, how the Metabuilding ecosystem de-risks innovation. And Germain's going to go up to the podium, and Emre, you can wait for the second slot so we don't sit on the stage. Germain.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you all the speakers that have been here this morning. I will try to make the link to the previous presentation, and so this is the way we are answering some of the problems we have already evoked, and notably what Alain, the nice vision that Alain has described for us. So this is what we are. You have heard about an open innovation testbed. This is a technical term that the Commission used to design basically networks of testing facilities and innovation services, very technical. They have implemented calls, and they have a lot of ongoing and already past projects about OITBs for different sectors of the industry. So Metabuilding Labs is one of 3 projects still ongoing, all of the 3, to serve the construction sector with these networks of testing facility. And this is what we have. This is a screenshot of the partners that we have in our ecosystem. On the upper side of the slide, you see some of our members. All these institutions are members, or they are filling their applications for becoming members, so I can disclose that this is the real snapshot today. So the bottom part, very important one, the bottom part of the slide, you see laboratories, testing facilities, technology centers, some universities that bring this very necessary equipment in order to de-risk innovation. Why de-risk innovation? You need, of course, when you create a new product, you need to follow a pathway from idea to market. So you have to really, when you put something on the market, especially in the construction sector, you have to have proved that it is safe, it performs well, it complies with every regulation, it has all the certification needed, etc. So this sometimes is a nightmare to figure out, and basically for SMEs. So as we said before, SMEs are very important for us, and it's difficult to really find your way in this complex landscape. So we are here as an open innovation testbed to help innovators find their way and have everything they need in order to progress across the development of their new products. So you have here also our geographical coverage. This is important. We have the idea and the targets to cover all Europe. So we started with 17 countries in the project. We have added some external members that were not working in the project, but they have decided to join us. So gradually we are covering, and we will be, hopefully, covering all of Europe with our services. So this is 5 highlights of our network. I will go fast with this. We have an ecosystem. You will hear me talking about ecosystem. We have been really working on the ecosystem idea since 10 years now. At the ECTP, starting at the ECTP and with other people, and then with the projects. This comes from Metabuilding Labs, has a precedent. This was the Metabuilding project, already from 2018. So we started this ecosystem. We started the Metabuilding.com platform because we are sure that we need, when you discuss open innovation, when you implement open innovation, you really need not only to open up, but to find who is going to be your partner, with whom you are going to exchange, where there's ideas that can come now from the new paradigm, from the external world. Where are you going to find them? So you need to communicate. And at these times, you need, of course, a digital backbone to do that. And this is our open innovation platform, metabuilding.com, which now is handling a lot of things that Emre will explain after me. So we have a lot of digital services that are being embedded in our platform and accessible from our platform, and this is very important. Then we have the O3 which is a new testbed model specifically designed for TRL6. TRL6, sorry to be a little bit technical, technology readiness level 6 is you need to test your innovation in a significant environment at the real scale. And the last point here I would like to remark is our new affiliate membership. So we are opening up our association, it has 2 years now, to all stakeholders, every stakeholders of the construction sector. So this started as a project. We started also, so passing from project partners to members of the association, and now we are going further and opening up for everyone in the construction sector. Also, you have already seen this slide, so this is to show our extended ecosystem. So we have a system, our ecosystem is basically 2 layers. A technical layer that I will describe later, so what this the offer of services and equipments and labs that we have, and then the ecosystemic layers at the regional scale and territorial scales, and these are clusters. So we are really working together with clusters, and we interconnect with cluster. I will explain this during the session, not right now, but the second time I will speak later on. So this is a snapshot of our platform. Tom already showed this slide. The main idea of the Metabuilding.com platform is that we offer two kinds of services. So the most important ones for me are what I call the ecosystem services. These are for free. Metabuilding.com platform is open to all stakeholders in the construction sector in Europe and beyond, and anyone can register in the platform as an entity, as a company, as an institution, as a university, etc., and do that for free and use the platform for free. And these kind of services, we do matchmaking, we provide information about funding, financing. We have a nice database of technology assets, some of them developed in European projects, and sometimes this happens. You develop a project and develop products in a European project, but they don't reach the market. We all know the very well-known valley of death of innovation, so sometimes you cannot arrive to the market. So this database is intended to really put every kind of asset for the construction sector together in a database that is searchable. So we offer the opportunity to innovations to be included in new projects or new development or new ventures for business. Our services are fit in a TRL and market readiness level scale. So we have specific things very important for TRL 6 and 7. So the new test benches that I mentioned before. And also we have an innovation which is a pilot building matchmaking module. I will show you that later. This is our O3 bed. So this is a very nice idea. We have, so these new test benches backed up by digital twins. And the good thing is that they are connected. So they will be connected across Europe, different climate zone, different countries. So we will gain the data we will collect from testing materials and new solutions in these new test benches will go to increase the simulation engines and the models, refine the models in order to be more efficient when we simulate performance of new components. This is the pilot building matchmaking module. So the idea here is to solve one of the biggest problems for innovators in the construction sector is when you reach a higher tier level, you need to really test your innovation in real buildings with real people inside. And the idea of having a building that allows you to test your innovation is very, very difficult to find. So we are building this database, this module in the platform with the help of Housing Europe and some social housing organizations already partners in the project in order to solve this problem. So the database is active. We have to populate it and disseminate it so building owners play the game and put their buildings inside there. We will also have access from metabuilding.com platform to accredited living labs. So for this, the European Network of Living Labs is a member now of the Metabuilding Association, and you will find a module where you will find every innovator can find the right living labs to work with to test innovations. And now Emre will keep on describing the digital functionalities and services that we have in the Metabuilding platform. Thank you.
Thank you, Germain. Tom, we're good on time, aren't we? Perfect. Thank you. I'm Emre from ECOWISE. ECOWISE is a London, UK-based SME working on digital solutions for circular economy. We have been very happy and proud co-founder of the Metabuilding Association, and we've been in touch with this ecosystem since almost the beginning. A couple of other references. I'll be talking a bit more on the green and sustainability and circularity side. So we are just one solution partner looking at identification of products that relates to how we look at digital product passports. Surpass2 is another European Union initiative where the digital product passports are being tested, and we are inside one of the 13 selected pilots. So we are bringing also the knowledge and the requirements definition process of the Commission towards that, and we're involved in a number of other circular economy projects alongside. So we're not just coming from the built environment, but looking at it towards from a circular economy viewpoint. So we want to start with what is coming towards us, and Alain mentioned the EU vision on how the manufacturers and the construction products have to be both compliant and digitalized in a way that the data is managed so that it also is stored in a central way, which we now call DPPs, and then they are also going towards or be introduced into digital building logs. So this has been in the vision of the Commission since 3 years, so this is not new. In our Metabuilding project closure event, the Commission experts were presenting that, which started in 2018, so it should have been 2021 or something, so not new, but this is now the reality, and this is now in demand. The ESPR came into force last year, Eco-Design for Sustainable Products Regulation, and it has delegated acts that are upcoming, and it also refers to Construction Products Regulation and ESPR go hand in hand, and there is the definition of digital product passports that have to define certain or carry certain data about the products, not only about sustainability, but also about the whole compliance. So whatever the sector, the construction material manufacturers, etc., have to develop, they have to comply with these upcoming regulations. And the digital product passport is a way of carrying data, but as Alain mentioned, it is mainly not for humans, it's also for governments and their systems to be able to read and allow those materials pass through customs or comply with regulatory requirements. The ESPR is not only about construction technologies, eco-design for sustainable products. It's very active in textile, very active in things like batteries, and we are involved and a part of it. But of course, CPR adds more requirements and complexity. The construction products regulation, looking at multiple construction product groups. I don't want to go into detail, but we are having a phased approach where these requirements for these types of products are being rolled out. And there are a number of technical committees trying to define the standards of how this should be done. Sense and Electronic Technical Committee 24 is one of that, and we are involved in that via our Surpass network. And it's not only defining certain product groups' requirements of data carriage, but also looking at the horizontal way of how a digital product passport system will be and has to be. And this is something we're all going to have to comply with. So this is a nice, or a bit scary, diagram from Construction Products Europe, not ours, but the colors match our colors, so we can keep using them. Maybe we can ask them. So there's a lot. So obviously, at the end, you see the EU Green Deal and circular economy targets. And most countries have, obviously, and the Commission has their carbon reduction targets. And it all looks at towards building logbooks, the green public procurement definitions, it's a GPP. Our products will be supported and also, obviously, able to enter bigger or larger markets via some green public procurement requirements. Levels as a part of the whole building registration system is still a part of the Green Deal, and other aspects such as CPR, environmental product declarations, etc., are things we have to follow up. So this is not easy, but there's two ways of looking at this. This is like, oh, truck is going to hit us, what should we do? Or actually the approach is, there is a digital and green transition that is coming. And if we are ready, if we're preparing towards it now, and also if the networks we're representing, the clusters, the ecosystems we're engaged in, if we start investing in them now, we don't get crushed by this wave, but we surf on top of it. So that's the logic, and that's where we wish to be as the meta-building ecosystem. We want to be at the center of how we can support your green and digital transition as well. Not only about testing your new materials, but also digitalization and documentation and compliance with the regulation of how this big wave of change is coming. So here you see what we try to call a supply chain or a value proposition. Or there's a demand from the citizen side as regulatory aspects. Obviously, we're bound to the commissions, but also there's a global change in the global trading systems as well. We have to look at those. We have a big amount of construction or refurbishment wave, and a lot of components need to be manufactured. We were with Germain in Istanbul last week. We were presenting with the Turkish construction products manufacturers, and they were referring to the amount of construction materials that are going to be needed due to the recent unfortunate wars in the area. There's the Ukrainian area, there's the Middle Eastern area, there's a lot of things that need to be rebuilt. And of course, Europe has a lot of refurbishment potential, and there's a lot of need for decarbonization. So there's a huge market for what's going to come, some due to unfortunate events, yet we need to supply that in a green way, in a sustainable way. So we want to be at the center, and we are able to support. As Germain mentioned, we are happy to support on the TRL increase, the technology readiness level increase of new products. We want to provide regulatory support. We want to showcase what you're doing or what the whole market could be benefiting from our ecosystem. And we want to provide you additional digital and green support in terms of software services as well as consultancy. We have the capability in the Metabuilding platform to allow your products or innovations to be linked to your existing digital product passports. The DPPs can come from different digital product passport service providers. It doesn't have to be us. Yet if you wish, we are able to provide you one. And we have a package of free DPP testing as well. So it doesn't have to be seen as a marketing pitch, but we have a digital product passport service that you can try. Of course, the TRL level 4, 5, 6 is not subject to DPPs because the DPPs for market entry and compliance. So the products that you think wish to be compliant with the DPP regulation, please come talk to us. And we have our some examples in our ecosystem, and these are product level passports. Eventually, your identification, your material composition, compliance, and life cycle related information is there. And also, most importantly, on the right bottom side, if your product can have or will have a circular economy perspective in terms of return, repairs, recycles, these can be also added inside the passport. So the digital product passport is not just a web page. It has to have certain trust tech requirements, which we can talk later in more detail if you wish. Happy to talk about them. So all data is not only secure, but it is digitally signed. And also we have this thing called selective disclosure that you can manage the digital product passport. You can use it as a data repository for your products, and you can allow certain types of users access to certain amount of packages inside that repository. Meaning you can have your repairers or your maintenance people both access certain data and also even enter with the repair log, etc., which is not very dissimilar to how you would repair your buildings and you would have your building logbooks. So eventually it's a machine-readable outcome, which has identifiers and also a lot of cryptographic backends that cannot be denied. So that everything that is entered is verifiable. So that when governments wish to just read the QR code and check the compliance, it shows that from certified bodies, recent or required information has been entered and is accurate. And this all links to, Alain mentioned, the EPBD, the Digital Building Logbook wave that is also coming. And the expectation is that the materials feed into building logbooks. And also, Alain mentioned very clearly that there is a need for global warming potential, which is the carbon footprint, definition, and documentation of buildings. And the only way to do that is to look at both your materials and, of course, your construction process. And then that's the embodied carbon of your building. And you have the operational phase where you keep emitting more carbon, obviously, which can also be decreased via different aspects. So the global warming potential calculation mentioned depends and needs the material information and the bill of quantities, which of course links to using of technologies such as BIM. So on the left, you have a building logbook, which has compositions, and one of them could be a facade, and you could have certain aspects of the facade that's being carried in the product passport. This is an example. You have a building, it has components, walls, columns, slabs, etc., and it has steel or iron or already mixed concrete components, all of which will have their digital product passports. And on top of that, what the building logbook can provide, of course, is validation of all required health, safety, and commissioning aspects in a digital way. This relates a lot to the fire and health and safety requirements as well. So all fire door or periodic requirements of checks can be also logged. So this is our approach towards supporting the meta building or similar ecosystems, and this is available. If you wish, the QR code allows you to access a sample digital building logbook, which has digital product passports inside it. And we wish to state that meta building ecosystem is ready to support you or anyone in your network in this journey, and also deliver running use cases and software capabilities alongside with it, both as you can see it as a consultancy and as a digital service provider. And we are very happy to be alongside you in this journey. Thank you very much.
Wow, we've done it.